It looked like one of the good ones, an ethical investment. Plant trees in Costa Rica, watch your pension grow alongside them, and feel good about where your money went. 3,000 people believe that. Together they invested £70 million.
The trees were real. The company was not what it claimed to be.
Ethical Forestry Limited operated out of a call center in Bournemouth on the south coast of England. Behind the company were three men, Matthew Pickard, Stephen Greenaway, and Paul Laver. Their business model relied on cold calls, hundreds of employees dialing members of the public, offering something that sounded routine, a free pension review. But according to the Serious Fraud Office, the callers didn't disclose who they actually worked for. They used invented company names instead. Richmond Solutions, the pension report service, names designed to sound independent, official, trustworthy. Once someone agreed to a review, investigators say the outcome was never really in doubt. Every call funneled back to the same recommendation: withdraw your money from your existing pension and invest it in Ethical Forestry's tree planting scheme in Costa Rica. The SFO's lead investigator later described the process bluntly. Once someone had been convinced to have a pension review at all, they were, in his words, always going to be referred back to Ethical Forestry. And here's the part that made this scheme especially cruel: the trees were real. Teak plantations were genuinely planted in Costa Rica. For an investor doing surface-level research or even visiting in person, the operation looked legitimate. But according to the Serious Fraud Office, after the initial planting, no money was ever set aside to actually maintain those trees or to fund a future commercial harvest. Without maintenance or harvest, the investment could never generate the returns investors had been promised. It was a business that looked sustainable and was structurally incapable of paying anyone back. Investigators say that by 2012, years before the company finally collapsed, the directors already knew the scheme had no realistic path to repaying its investors. They didn't shut it down. Instead, prosecutors say they kept raising new money and used those new funds to make small payments to existing investors, creating the appearance of a working investment. The SFO has described this structure plainly: a Ponzi scheme. So where did £70 million actually go? According to the Serious Fraud Office, a significant portion funded the three directors' personal lifestyles. Investigators say Stephen Greenaway purchased a home in Sandbanks, Poole, one of the most expensive stretches of coastline in the United Kingdom, for £1.9 million. Matthew Pickard, prosecutors say, bought a property worth £4.3 million. Beyond real estate, the SFO alleges the men spent investor funds on luxury holidays and high-value cars. Separately, investigators found that £2.77 million of investor money was diverted to administer a personal tax avoidance scheme benefiting the directors themselves. Meanwhile, the 3,000 people who'd handed over their retirement savings, trusting an ethical investment with their financial futures, were left with statements, promises, and trees that would never be harvested on their behalf. The Serious Fraud Office opened its investigation into Ethical Forestry in 2017, 1 year after the company had already collapsed. It would take until June 2023 for formal charges to be filed: conspiracy to commit fraud by false representation and fraudulent trading. Initially, all three men pleaded not guilty, and the case was heading toward trial in early 2026. But in January 2026, just ahead of that trial date, Pickard, Greenaway, and Laver changed their pleas, admitting guilt to fraudulent trading. The SFO's Director of Operations, Emma Luxton, put it directly: these were men who preyed on people's good intentions to support green investment, and in doing so stole £70 million from hard-earned life savings and pensions. As of this recording, sentencing has not yet taken place. It's expected in May 2026. Prosecutors have indicated the three men could each face up to 10 years in prison. The Serious Fraud Office is now working to recover assets from the convicted men, with a compensation process underway for victims. But the SFO has been direct about what that actually means in practice. Any compensation will likely be paid piecemeal, as funds are recovered, and it will not cover the full amount anyone lost. One victim, speaking to reporters, called the situation simply tragic. 3,000 people trusted that their money was doing something good, growing literally and financially into a stable retirement. Instead, it funded 3 men's homes, cars, and holidays, while the trees they'd been promised sat unmanaged on the other side of the world. The scheme took 7 years to fully collapse. It's taken nearly a decade since for any consequences to follow. We'll follow this case through to sentencing. If you want more investigations like this, cold cases, fraud schemes, and the people who built empires on lies, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.